Yo, Lodero, aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite decks to play in the current standard metagame. Now, if you guys have been following me on Twitter at all, you'll know that I just recently took this deck to my locals and went 3-1 with it, and a lot of people were not suspecting me to play this deck at all. It's a rogue deck through and through, and I feel like it's really well positioned in the meta, and it's tons of fun to play. Now, if you guys want the content I've been making stuff on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Now, let's jump right in to that deck list. Already here at that deck list, Arceus Armarouge. A quick recap with that Arceus VSTAR here. Arceus VSTAR says its ability Star Birth. During your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. So any 2 cards with that VSTAR power, but its attack Trinity Nova for 3 energy, 200 damage. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you like. Now, we only play the Arceus VSTAR, and we have the Delphox V in here as well. Attack Eerie Glow for fire energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned and confused. And then Magical Fire, 120 damage. Put 2 energy attached to this Pokemon in the Lost Zone. This attack also does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which is really helpful because a lot of decks aren't playing Manaphy at the moment, so we're able to kind of pick off some Curlias, some Comfeys, or a Barrel, or maybe even a Munkidori off of the bench, which can be pretty key, taking some extra prize cards and slowing down some draw engines and things like that. But now I know what you're thinking. You only have Arceus V and Delphox V. How are you getting all these energies attached to your Iron Hands EX or your Gouging Fire? That's where Armarouge comes into play. Armarouge has an ability Fire Off. As often as you would like during your turn, you may move a fire energy from one of your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. So now, okay, we're playing fire energy, so we're moving them to our different Pokemon, like Radiant Charizard, Mew EX because it attacks with colorless, Fezandipiti attacks with colorless, Gouging Fire plays fire energy, but what about Iron Hands EX and your Munkidori? Well, Luminous Energy is what we have in here for that, and Luminous Energy says as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but only provides 1 energy at a time. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has any other special energy attached to it, it only provides a normal energy instead. So now, Fire Off, allowing us to move fire energies, and Luminous Energy is every energy type. We're allowed to move our Luminous Energy to our active Pokemon because it is seen as a fire energy through Armarouge's ability Fire Off. So allowing us to be able to attack with our Iron Hands EX for that Ampy very much, being able to take some extra prize cards, and of course allowing us to use Mind Bend on our Munkidori, but even more importantly, that Adrena Brain ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any fire energy, has any dark energy attached, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's Pokemon. And of course, pairing that with our Magma Basin, once during each player's turn, that player may attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your benched fire-type Pokemon. If a player attaches a energy to a Pokemon this way, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Now, it doesn't say basic fire energy. It just says fire energy. So, we should also be allowed to use that Magma Basin for our luminous energies from our discard pile. Not too sure on that, but we should be able to. But nonetheless, we're playing 7 basic fire energies, so we're usually using it for that majority of the time. And of course, being able to move those damage counters is going to be really helpful into a lot of key matchups. That 3 damage counters, or even 2, depending on what we're attacking with. You know, we had that Gouging Fire EX in here, that Blaze Blitz attack 260 damage. But if you calculate in the 2 or 3 damage counters from the Munkidori, 280, 290, we're KOing Pokemon V-Stars, we're KOing some Pokemon EX as well, and being able to hit hard for a couple extra prizes with our Iron Hands EX with that Ampy very much is pretty helpful with that 120 damage. Thank you to Luminous Energy. And then I also want to point out something real quick too. We do have the Mew EX in here for that restart ability and the genome hacking. Being able to just pick your opponent's attack from your active Pokemon and use it is really helpful. Being able to move the energies is pretty cool. And then Radiant Charizard being able to be used earlier than the end game in this deck because it's Excited Heart ability. This Pokemon's attacks cost 1 less for each prize card your opponent has taken. but we can just move fire energies to it and hit for that 250 or 280 with that Munkidori helping as well, which is pretty helpful. I want to point out a couple quick things here in the deck. We are going heavy Iono and heavy Professor's Research because we do really want to be drawing cards and disrupting our opponent kind of as much as possible. And Prime Catcher being the A-spec of choice here, really just the best one for the deck. And then, of course, we're also playing the double turbo energies in here to really help out with that Arceus V-Star. So we can go Arceus V, attach double turbo, attach another energy, Trinity Nova, get some energies, pile it up, and then start moving some stuff around to our other attackers. Now, let's jump right into that gameplay. Already here at that gameplay here at the coin flip is going to be Tails. We're going to elect to go first. And the reason for that is we want to get that turn 1 double turbo energy attached to our Arceus V. We want to be able to evolve our Charcadets into Armarouges and things like that. So, going to start out with an Arceus V here in the active spot. No double turbo energy in hand, however, which is gonna cause to be a problem, but we're gonna go Ultra Ball here, pitching our Arceus V in a counter catcher to grab ourselves a Charcadet. So hopefully we can be able to evolve into our Armarouge and Arceus V-Star here next turn. Now, something else cool with this deck is even if you don't get the turn 1 double turbo energy attached and you can just get a fire engine discard pile, you can magma base and Armarouge and move it up anyway, which is pretty helpful. We see here our opponents on that lost box here. Gonna be able to just flower selecting, discard an energy, draw 2 cards, roll the Pokestop, get the switch card and Mirage Gate here, but discarding that Cramorant, which can be pretty helpful for us here. Flower selecting coming, gonna put another one in the lost zone here. Gonna be really racking up those energy cards, or sorry, those cards in general into the lost zone here. Of course, Spearmint coming out for our opponent as well. Look at the top 5, put 3 into your hand, 2 into the lost zone. And if they can go like Super Rod plus Nest Ball and get the Cramorant back down, we're looking at a 110 spin instantly for free on our Arceus V, which is not ideal. If they can even go like Prime Catcher into that Cramorant onto our Charcadet, that is definitely not what we want here. So our opponent getting here Nest Ball for another Comfey, however. Going to be seeing what they can cook up going on from there. So the other cool thing, and they're just going to pass right to us here, we're going to be able to have that Luminous Energy on our hand, or in our hand. We're going to be able to play down the Magma Basin. We're going to bench the Iron Hands here. Research coming down. We're going to be able to get that Arceus V-Star in play and the Armarouge as well. We're going to Star Birth here. And we're going to be looking to grab the Ultra Ball here in a double turbo energy. Now, that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to Ultra Ball, discarding both of those fire energies, grabbing ourselves potentially that Mew EX. That's what we're going to grab here. Play down the Mew EX, attach the double turbo, Magma Basin, putting the energy to the Armarouge, fire off, moving that energy to the Arceus V-Star, and then we're going to be able to Trinity Nova here, 180 damage, taking a knockout on our opponent's Comfey here. We're going to Trinity Nova for just 2 fire energies, putting that to our active Arceus V-Star. We're going to get the Radiant Charizard off our prizes, putting us at a 5-6 split here. Now, the problem where this becomes for me is if they play Roaring Moon. If they play Roaring Moon and they can Frenzy Gouging my Arceus V-Star, I'm in a lot of trouble. I've committed quite a bit of energies to this Arceus V-Star here, and if they KO it, I'm going to really have to make sure I'm using Magma Basin properly and moving energies around efficiently to really take advantage and bring this game back into our favor. Going to be flower selecting on their side, Corso's Experiment coming down as well. Going to be really just trying to churn through their deck here, trying really hard to just kind of find all the pieces that they may need and kind of going from there. Now, the other really difficult thing that comes from playing in this matchup is the fact that they can really just kind of keep finding pieces with Pokestop and things like that. Makes it really hard for us. And then you see that Roaring Moon EX come down as well. We're not really having a lot of hand disruption except the Iono, which unfortunately they haven't taken any prizes. So they're still getting 6 cards and they've already went through more than half of their deck. So Super Rod coming down, putting some energies back into the deck here. Mirage Gate coming down as well. Going to be able to put down that Dark Energy and the Water Energy to that Roaring Moon EX. And we're looking like a Frenzy Gouging here from our opponent, which is not what we wanted, unfortunately, at all. unless they Calamity Storm here, but it's looking probably like a Frenzy Gouging. Gonna be able to take an instant knockout on that Arceus V-Star, unfortunately here, and really just putting a damper in our game plan. So we're gonna have to see how we can crawl back from this. Maybe we're looking at maybe some Munkidori, maybe some damage counters around. We're gonna have to see what we cook up here. Gonna put our Mew EX into play. We're gonna bench that Fezandipiti. We're gonna be able to Nest Ball here, grab that Gouging Fire EX. We're gonna be able to bench our Radiant Charizard as well if we want this turn, which is exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna bench that Radiant Charizard. We're gonna restart for one card here, get the double turbo, which could be pretty helpful. We're gonna be shutting ourselves off of the Munkidori play, unfortunately, but we're gonna flip the script here, get ourselves that Magma Basin, and then we're gonna be able to potentially take a knockout maybe with our Gouging Fire EX or our Radiant Charizard. We're just going to have to see what we got cooking up here. Fire off coming down. We're going to be able to put that energy to our Mew EX. We're going to be able to genome hacking here potentially as well. We're going to pull up that Radiant Greninja first. However, genome hacking, copying Moonlight Shuriken. We're going to put 90 damage counters on the Roaring Moon and that Comfey, discarding the double turbo energy to take a huge whopping 3 prize cards here, putting us at a 2-4 split. And we didn't even have Munkidori, so we didn't have that play. Anyway, it didn't matter. We had Mew EX there to really pull us through, grabbing that Radiant Greninja, pulling it up, Moonlight Shuriken, taking some huge key knockouts here. And now we're in a position where if they bench down another 2 prizer, we can just knock that out potentially with Radiant Charizard or something like that. And if they bench down, you know, any more single prize Pokemon, I can just copy Moonlight Shuriken again, which can be pretty huge. We're going to see them getting a Roaring Moon EX down in play again here. Mirage Gate coming down, Dark Energy, Water Energy coming down, Night Stretcher here. I'm grabbing that Dark Energy. Probably going to be able to attach that Dark Energy for turn to their Roaring Moon EX as well, which is exactly what they're going to do here. Prime Catcher, pull up the Fezandipiti, unfortunately, and then they're going to possibly be able to Frenzy Gouging here. But why would you Frenzy Gouge when you can Calamity Storm, discard my Magma Basin for 220 damage, taking a knockout on our Fezandipiti, putting us in a 2-2 split here, unfortunately. So now we're in a position where we have this game locked down, right? We don't really need to thin anymore, and we're kind of just peeking through the deck, see what we have access to, but we have Radiant Charizard in play, and I could just fire off and move the Fire Energy to my Radiant Charizard. So we're going to retreat out of the Mew EX here, Radiant Charizard up into the active spot. We're going to be able to fire off, move that Fire Energy to our Radiant Charizard, and then Combustion Blast for 250 damage, taking our last 2 prize cards, KOing that Roaring Moon EX. Our Armarouge is a deck that I feel like is just absolutely fantastic, being able to knock out some of the big decks in the format, not just Lost Box making its huge comeback into the meta, but I've also beaten decks like Lugia, Charizard, Regidrogo with this Arceus Armarouge deck. It truly is a wonderful deck to play in the meta, not only for competitive reasons, but it's just tons of fun as well. Now let's jump right in to that outro. Alright, it's going to do for today's video. If you guys enjoy the content I've been making stuff for the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And I'll make sure to put the deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, so you guys want to try it out for yourself, you'll be able to. But while you're down there, check out my Discord link as well. I've been trying really hard to just get the Discord server kind of up and running, and we're at a point where I really feel comfortable where it's at, and I can start inviting people and kind of start running events and different YouTube promotions and stuff through the Discord. So definitely check that out as well. Follow my Twitter and things like that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!